Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
1 month since the stay-at-home order went into effect here in Michigan, 2,977 people have lost their lives, with the state now reporting more than 35,000 cases of the coronavirus. Good to have you with us tonight at 11. Several new developments to report, including the U.S. House approving a $480 billion package aimed at helping small businesses and hospitals.
The bill will allow to expand COVID-19 testing. It will now go to President Trump, who says he will sign it. Tomorrow, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is expected to announce an extension to her stay-at-home order.
Meanwhile, the Michigan legislature is going to hold a special session tomorrow morning in which they're expected to address the state's response to the pandemic, but also move to limit the governor's emergency authority. Mara McDonald live tonight with more on this. And Mara, it is getting tense again in Lansing between the governor and the legislature.
It is getting tense, Devin, and on top of everything that the legislature is doing, we expect to hear first steps coming out of the governor tomorrow about how she intends to start reopening Michigan's economy. She has been under increasing pressure to do so. Both the House and Senate are convening tomorrow to do two things: form a joint committee to question and oversee the state's response to the pandemic.
We've received thousands of phone calls from people around our state who are frightened or are frustrated because they can't get the unemployment benefits they've been promised, or because they've had their livelihoods taken away, or because they're being told that they can't work a job and take care of their family.
The second to vote on a bill that would repeal the 1945 law that Whitmer says gives her emergency powers.
And I do know that the Senate plans on passing some of those bills tomorrow, and we need to keep all options on the table should we be unable to reach an agreement on extending the state of emergency come April 30th. And those bills are a definite possibility.
In reality, that vote is symbolic because she can just veto it, but it shows the simmering tensions between the governor and the legislature over how this crisis is being handled. Both chambers have already released plans detailing how to reopen Michigan's economy in stages, something we have not seen from the governor yet, but likely will get a look at her ideas, or at least some of them, tomorrow. She appeared on MSNBC today to talk about the crisis.
So what I've tried to communicate to the people of Michigan is that we are going to look to re-engage in waves. We're going to have to be really strategic about it, data-driven. We have a rigorous process that we are going through to assess risk inherent in different sectors of our economy.
Back here live, we expect to hear from the governor tomorrow on some of those re-engagement strategies that she has been talking about. And we also expect to hear a little more about the stay home, stay safe order. She has already said that she intends to extend it for a short while longer. What does a short while longer look like? Likely mid-May, but let's see what she has to say. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Yeah, we expect a busy Friday. All right, Mara.
Well, despite the stay-at-home orders, it's turning out to be a pretty good time to buy a car. Obviously, there's no strolling the showroom and driving your new ride off the lot, but instead, a lot of it is online and having the car delivered. Jason Colthorpe is live tonight with just how good the deals are right now. Jason, good evening.
Good evening. They're not bad, Kim, really. This is the situation. You've got auto plants ready to open up and get workers back to work and start cranking out automobiles. Well, the problem is, dealerships like this still have all of their 2020s sitting on the lots, and they need to move them right now. And if you need a car, that's great news for you.
It's a different way to do business, but I got to be honest with you, we're very lucky.
At a time when businesses are grinding to a halt, some are reinventing themselves, and that includes car dealers. And it's paying off for customers right now.
When we started this, we thought we'd be delivering everybody's car to their home. But some people don't want us to deliver the car to their home, so we're kind of leaving it to the customer. We've set up kind of a drive-through delivery system in our parking lot.
Matt Garco of Bill Brown Ford says not only has COVID-19 changed the way people buy cars, it's created some great deals.
We've got more cars than we've ever had, and in order for us to buy more cars, obviously we have to sell them. So it's a perfect time to buy a car, that's for sure.
A number of car companies, the Detroit automakers, Toyota just came on board, are offering 0% financing for up to 84 months.
The incentives are flying right now, like 0% financing and rebates. But Michelle Krebs of Autotrader.com says, don't expect to pull off the deal of the century.
Are you going to get a crazy wild deal because dealers are desperate? No. They know they have assets and that eventually they'll open up and they'll sell. So they aren't desperate. People need to have realistic expectations when they go shopping.
So that's part of the catch. The other part of it is trade-in values are very low right now, simply because auctions all around the country are idled, and all of those used cars are still here with the dealers, and they certainly don't need any more. So that's part of it. If you don't have a trade-in and you're looking for a new car, you could be the type of person who's in the perfect spot right now. Live in Southfield, Jason Coulthorpe, Local 4.
So Jason, how long do they think it will last?
Some don't think very long, actually, because once the new cars get cranking out and they move this out, things will change. However, this just happened today. The UAW announced that workers, they're not sure what the data shows, and it may not be safe for workers to go back just yet. So we have to wait and see when that all happens. That could shake things up, and it'll remain to be seen, Kim.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Jason.
Business owners and their employees struggling through coronavirus closings do have a new lifeline, though some are asking, where's the money for local and state governments? Susan McGinnis with the latest from Washington.
The bill is passed.
Keeping their distance and wearing masks, House members passed a nearly $500 billion package that includes relief for small businesses and workers impacted by coronavirus. But absent from the rescue package, relief for state and local governments. Republican leader Mitch McConnell indicating that's not coming anytime soon and suggesting states seek bankruptcy protection.
We're not yet ready to just send a blank check down to states and local governments.
The comments drawing backlash from officials, including New York's governor.
You want to see that market fall through the cellar? Let New York State declare bankruptcy.
But tonight, President Trump defending the Senate's top Republican and casting the crisis in a political light.
It is interesting that the states that are in trouble do happen to be blue.
Tonight, the president disputing comments from White House health advisor Anthony Fauci, who told Time magazine testing and testing capacity in the U.S. is lacking.
I think we're doing a great job on testing. I don't agree. If he said that, I don't agree with it.
The president embraced a government study suggesting the virus is vulnerable to sunlight, humidity, and disinfectants. He offered up a suggestion that has doctors perplexed.
And then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
The Homeland Security Department assured reporters federal laboratories are not considering that option.
Susan McGinnis, Local 4.
All right, Susan. Well, let's head over to Ben's house now for a check of the forecast. Ben, this week we dipped down into the 20s, so are we going to warm up for the weekend as we kick that off tomorrow?
Yes, in fact, we will see some noticeable change tomorrow, Kim, but the weekend looks pretty good. There's some issues that we're going to have to discuss coming up, but as of right now, we're chasing the last of that rain away. There's still some drizzle out there. Lapeer and Port Huron, a couple spots that are reporting that. Otherwise, just a lot of clouds, which will eventually start breaking as we head towards tomorrow morning. So that and some warmer air are going to help us get near 60 degrees in the afternoon, which will seem like a vacation compared to that record cold that we went through just about 24 hours ago. Partly cloudy skies for the bulk of the day. There will be rain this weekend. We'll discuss that and see if we can get some temperatures even warmer than that in the 7-day forecast. And that's all coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben, the NFL draft, the distraction sports fans could really use right now. Bernie, the Lions went into the draft with a 3rd overall pick, the highest the team has picked in 10 years, as a matter of fact. And many thought there might be a trade in the works, but not so tonight.
There were like 100 trades they were talking about before. I can't believe it. The Dolphins, Jacksonville was mentioned. There was so much talk about trades for the Lions before the draft started. You thought they were going to bring in Drew Carey to run things, but the price was never right. And the Lions went and took cornerback Jeff Okudah of Ohio State. We've got highlights of Okudah, who is 6'1", weighs 205. He's a shutdown corner. He was with his family in Grand Prairie, Texas. and he loved getting his name called. And Matt Patricia gave his kids a high five after the pick. Cuda was moved when his name was announced.
It was a feeling I can't explain. Just all the hard work, all the sacrifices. Finally, getting a chance to hear my name called. It was really something that I'm going to remember forever.
That is great. Jeff Okudah is a terrific, terrific football player. Don't forget, we get to do this again tomorrow, rounds 2 and 3. Lions have picked 35 on round 2, 67 and 85 on round 3. We're back later with more on Jeff Okudah and the draft.
Nice. All right, Bernie, we'll talk to you again in just a couple of minutes. Now, still ahead tonight, a nurse accused of using the coronavirus crisis to smuggle drugs into the country, how she was caught, and the charges she's now facing. But up first, from after-school programs to accessing technology, the coronavirus pandemic exposing many obstacles our school districts are facing, how local educators